Welcome, guys. Welcome. Hola, chicos. Bienvenidos.
Hello, hello. Are we live? Are we here?
Yes, sir. We are on.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. And you're not like staring up at the ceiling, leaning against the wall?
No, this is a new one. This is a new one.
I know. That's why, like I said, you're not just staring up at the ceiling.
No, I'm not.
You're actually looking around like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Sunday.
It's Sunday?
It is Sunday.
It is Sunday. Surprise, guys.
What are we doing on Sunday? This is weird.
Sunday is my only day off, and like, yeah, we have to be.
Okay. Well, I knew. I just wanted them. Because people are interested. They want to know, like, why you're here or why you're not here. But it's Sunday.
It is Sunday. Sunday fun day. Not for me.
Hello, Santi. Hola. Hey, what's up?
Hola,
Trey?
Santi. Bienvenido, Santi. Todavía no tengo el chat, así que sorry.
They'll start wandering back in a couple minutes, I think. See, there's duck on quack.
Hello, Mr. Quack Quack. Welcome.
He wants to know if this is a confession.
If there's a confession, what kind of confession do you guys want? Aliens do exist.
Wait. You're Latina. You should be going to a Catholic church, right? You and Poggy can go together.
Catholic church, okay. That stopped
so
like
cool.
I don't know, like how many years ago? Huh?
That's the stereotype, right? All Latin people, they're all Catholic.
Right? Yeah, typically. Yeah, that's usually how it is.
So
That's usually
why.
how it is.
Duck wants to know if this is a confession.
I don't know. Do you guys want there to be confessions?
I don't think they want us to confess. I don't want to go to jail again.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
What's up, Ryan LPs?
Hello, Mr. Ryan. Welcome.
It is Sunday, and we are here live again.
Yes.
And this is our alien show. Is that correct? If we're doing aliens? If we're not
Yes.
doing aliens, it's going to be very awkward.
Right? We were actually talking about ourselves.
We're talking about what?
We were talking about ourselves, not actual aliens.
Oh, well, I guess. What's up, Asboom? So, do you believe in aliens?
Something tells me yes. I don't know. But I don't know. It's always good to believe like that there is something else other than ourselves.
We're not alone in the universe.
We are not alone. You know what? I've always thought you know how we have little like lab rats, like rat labs. I feel like we're someone else's like lab rats. You know?
Really?
Yeah, like someone else somewhere out there is like looking at us, controlling us, like investigating all their data, and I was like, okay, this is how they do, this is how they work, this is how their brains work. Okay, now let's see if we can get this ones to like, you know, work, and then we can see which ones we can kind of like which are the ones that are gonna go and like, you know, work the like all the farming, all the I don't know how you would call that, like all the agriculture and stuff. Okay, now let's see which ones are the ones like, you know, their brains and stuff, which ones are the ones that are going to be stuck doing like the fast food restaurants and like that type of work. And okay, now let's see which ones are the ones that are going to be like, okay, management or you know, business owners and all that type of stuff. I feel like where the world or the earth is just like a little maze where they're a little maze where they're all just watching us and like studying us and stuff. Yeah.
So did they select you to be a YouTuber? Is that what happened?
Not a YouTuber yet. We're like 97K subs away from being able to call ourselves a YouTubers.
97K?
Yeah, like 97K. You need, I think, officially to be officially called a YouTuber, you need to have 100K subs.
Oh, no problem.
That's it.
We
Just
can do that,
100K. Just 100K. That's all we need. It's
There you
nothing,
go.
right?
Just boop,
It's a
there
piece
you
of
are.
cake. Boop.
Okay.
Tomorrow we're gonna wake up and we're gonna be at 50K.
You never know. You never know. So we're just like an experiment, huh?
Yes, we are. Well, that's how I feel. Sometimes I think like, that's really what it is.
So I wanted to talk to you about my alien topic
Okay.
because it has to do with something near and dear to lots of people, and
Mm-hmm.
it's our moon. But I kind of want to talk to you about it. I don't think you want to hear me just rattle off a bunch of facts and things. I want to tell you a few things and kind of get your idea on what you think about these, and maybe I can convince you that
Okay.
more firmly that there are aliens out there, that we are not alone.
Ooh, cuckoo, we are not alone. I see dead people.
So we have a moon, right?
Uh-huh.
And the moon is very different from all the other moons in our solar system. Did you know that?
I didn't.
It has a lot
So,
of
like,
weird
Earth is-
characteristics.
Earth is moon does?
Yes.
Okay.
So like the moon itself is really big compared to the Earth
Mm-hmm.
in relation to other planets and moons that are out there. So the moon is like a quarter of the size of the Earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you like put it down, covering up like a landmass, it's like the size of Europe, or it's the size of North America, right? It's pretty big.
Our moon. Damn.
Or the
Okay.
United States. So it's like a quarter of the size of the whole planet, and no other planet out there has a moon that's that big. Like even the ones they've been looking at, you know, how they've been looking for exoplanets with the telescopes and all the good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, even the ones they find out there's no other planet that has a moon that's that big. It's one of a kind
Mm-hmm.
so far, right? Also, the moon itself. Do you know how the moon was formed?
How?
Because there's like a lot of theories on how the moon is formed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they were talking like, first of all, it could have formed at the same time as the Earth, it just out of the same mass, right?
Uh-huh.
But then they figured that theory didn't really work. And then they were talking how it's possible that while everything was forming, as far as like the Earth and everything goes, part of the Earth kind of got sucked up to the stuff that was orbiting around what was kind of the proto-Earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like basically a big part of where the Pacific is got like sucked up there,
Mm-hmm.
and that formed the moon. And there's a theory that another planet or another big object like flew in and smashed into the Earth,
Mm-hmm.
and it like pushed all the matter and everything that was together got pushed out into space, and that's how we got the moon, right? But none of those things really seem to work. When they do the math, it's almost impossible
Mm-hmm.
that you would get a moon like ours, that size, in the position it is,
Mhm.
by any of those things happening. So science can't really explain why the moon is there right now.
Oh, well.
So if you have an explanation, you can let me know now. But it's As
Yeah,
far as I understand,
I know
there's
more
no
than all
really.
the scientists and like NASA and everybody. So like
You never
my answer
know.
to you
You never
is no.
know. I would. I'd ask. Like,
My theory is my hypothesis.
I'm. You never know. It may. Like, you know how some people have that one thing that they know, and it just like shocks everybody. You know, you're talking with somebody, and suddenly they happen to be like this math genius and nobody knew,
Oh,
or
like when I
they,
talk about muscles and they're like, "Wait, what? You what? What? You know some of your muscles? Yeah."
or they know everything about like the history of Europe. They have it all memorized, right? So every time you mention something, they just like blurt it out. I was just thinking maybe you knew that about the moon. You'd be like, oh yeah, I know how that happened.
For Hispanics, the moon is made out of cheese.
So anyway, so that's another reason, another thing about the moon that's really weird, right? There's no real explanation for how it got there. They even said that there's even a theory that it was captured, like it was like wandering by the Earth, and the gravity of the Earth managed to capture it.
Oh, I was like, who
But
captured it? How?
do you want to say hi to him? Who else just showed up?
Yes, there's actually a few people. Hola, Santi. Hi, Ruin. Hola, Santi. Hi, Great Ghost. Hi, Mr. Ryan. Aspoon. Welcome, guys. Hola, mi alma. Bienvenido. Who else is here? Brista. Welcome, welcome. Hola, Shadow. Bienvenidos, chicos. I'm gonna tell them really quick in Spanish. Since there's a few Spanish speakers. Chicos, para los que hablan en español, ahorita estamos en la sesión de inglés. Son más que bienvenidos para quedarse, pero si quieren regresar a la sesión en español, vamos a empezar como en 1 hora y 20 minutos, más o menos. Así que disfruten. Hola, brother, bienvenido. Go ahead. You have the word back. You have the baton back. No, wait, you have the podium back. The podium is yours. Go ahead, Mr. Rune.
We have a speaking stick now. You just have to hand me the stick back. As
The
long as I'm holding
baton?
the stick, I can talk. Yeah.
No, like what is a book called? The Lord of the something, and like when they get stranded in an island, and whoever gets to speak has to like blow a shell or something. I don't know. Anyway, just I'm sorry, sidetraction. Okay, go ahead.
Lord of the Flies. So that's another weird thing, right? No one can really explain how the moon got there. Science can't explain it yet. And the position of the moon, so you know how the moon is actually not rotating sufficiently to show us the other side, right? It's what it's called tidally locked. So we only see one side of the moon all the time. We never get to see the backside. They call it the dark side.
What
right?
about the sides?
What about what?
The sides.
Well, you see a little bit of the sides, but you can't see the backside, right? Because the moon isn't spinning around like that. It's what they call tidally locked. So we only see that one side of the moon all the time, right? Which isn't like super special. There's other moons that are tidally locked like that, but it's just another interesting fact about it. So you only see that one side of the moon all the time. But the moon happens to be in the exact right position for us to get eclipses, like solar eclipses.
Interesting.
Like we had one. We had one like last week, right? Did you see it?
Yes. That one was actually like more visible in Mexico, huh? Like all the way down to the south of Mexico. Was like the most visible.
Yeah, that would be horrible. I just saw your message in chat that if no one could hear me.
Because last weekend I'm like, okay, let me make sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh,
hello.
my chat just whoop. Hi, McLovin. Welcome. Pam, 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 pam. Hi, Mr. Dion. Hi, Scotch Metalhead. Welcome, guys. Mr. Bringer. Welcome.
It's Bringer, brother.
Have a great night.
But,
Bringer, thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate it.
I wonder if they can hear me. I hope they can hear me. Someone in chat, type something if you can hear me.
Ryan says Google thinks there was another small planet involved in the collision. Well, it was even interesting, like when they finally said that okay, Pluto's not actually considered a planet after all. Rin sounds like a Disney character. He's a pirate.
Sound like a Disney character.
Yeah, he's a pirate. He has to.
Disney pirate. That's weird. I wonder why. Do I sound okay to you?
Yeah, I think he's just messing around.
But do I sound different? Do I sound different?
No.
Huh. Weird. Well, at least McLovin can hear me if nobody else. I'm speaking only to McLovin at this point. So it's exactly in the right place, right? So that we can get those eclipses. Well, as far as we know, that's the only moon that actually does it. That's in the exact right place to give the planet a full eclipse of the sun. Right? Weird. It's weird, right?
It's interesting.
Weird coincidence. So, do you know anything about what the moon is made of?
Okay, I was watching this series, actually 2 series that spoke about all that. But how about you let us know, so that the chat can know. You know how to explain it better than me. You tell us.
No. I was just asking if you knew what it was made of, or if you had some sort of idea.
I have an idea because I was watching. Yeah, I was watching these 2 series. But go ahead.
So the moon has a really weird composition, right? There's a lot of very heavy metals on the moon. And which is very odd, and it also has a bunch of I think it's helium-3. It's one of those particles that they use for nuclear fusion. Fusion, yeah. And it has a ton of these things, and they're like just like on the surface, which is really really odd. And also they've dated the rocks on the moon. And they date rocks on the Earth all the time, right? To figure out how old things are. So basically, they think the Earth is about 4.6 billion years old, right? Well, the moon, when they date the rocks on the moon are like 5.3 billion years old. So they're actually older than the Earth. Right. Which is odd, right? Because why would the moon be a billion years older than the planet it's circling? It's kind of... Well,
I mean, I don't think that's so odd because of like how everything happened and how everything aligned. I mean, the moon could have just been orbiting somewhere, wherever, and then after everything, it just so happened to fall. I don't know, here.
It just wandered by and the Earth captured it.
No.
They've done the math. It's very, very unlikely that could happen. It's impossible almost. But anyway, so the moon has this weird construction, right? The rocks are older than the Earth. The rocks are magnetic as well. They're very strongly magnetic. Did you know that? I didn't know that. When I was researching, I found out that the moon rocks are very magnetic. But
because of the metal?
Well, the weird thing is the moon doesn't have a magnetic field. Because it's not spinning like the Earth is, right? That's how you get the magnetic field. So the moon doesn't have a magnetic field, but all of its rocks are magnetic. Kind of weird, right? So there's also some other weird facts about the moon that kind of make you wonder, like how we got it. So let's start off and just say, well, maybe those theories, the ones they've come up with so far, aren't right. But there are some other facts that can kind of point you in the other direction, right? So we went to the moon, right? Are you going to concede that we went to the moon? Are you one of those people who believes that we went to the moon? Or
I
do you
mean,
think that
supposedly we did, right? That's what they showed us.
I know, but do you believe it?
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe. Well,
No, I think we
well,
did. I don't think other countries would cover each other or whatever. Especially when they were trying to fight to see who would be the first one to make it to the moon. So
well, to continue the conversation, you have to concede that at least that we went to the moon. That part, at least.
okay, I'm a believer there.
So
I'm a
we went
faithful
to the moon.
believer. Hi,
We went to the
Mr.
moon.
American Monster. Hi, Momo. Welcome, guys. Sorry. Go ahead.
No. You should interrupt anytime you see
Sorry.
somebody, because sometimes I get focused on talking into the microphone and I don't see the chat scroll by. So you should interrupt me
Come
whenever possible.
on.
What's up, ACM? What's up, Molo? Anyway, where were we? Oh, so we went to the moon at one point. Say yes.
I think it is flat, but I mean, I don't know. Sorry, go ahead. We should do another another episode of talking about that, the kind of stuff, talking about planets in general, and we can discuss all that stuff.
We can. This is just kind of getting our feet wet, right? Because there's going to be a lot of little extra subjects that come up that we could cover later,
Yeah.
depending on what people find interesting. So we went to the moon, and one of the things we did when we were on the moon is we took some samples, and we also planted some seismographs, some things that can kind of read the tremors and things and shocks that happen on the moon. Kind of like here, we measure earthquakes and all that good stuff, right? I don't know if you knew this, and I just found out. I didn't realize that we did this. Starting with Apollo 12, we started crashing spaceships into the moon to make those seismographs work and see what we could find out about the moon itself, right? So when they go down to the moon, they go down in a lander, and they go walk around, they do their stuff, drive around in their buggies, take samples, and then they fly back up to the module, right? And then they take that command module and they come back to Earth, right? Well, starting with Apollo 12, that landing module, which they got back to the command module with, they didn't need it anymore. And so they just started crashing them into the moon.
They needed to destroy evidence.
Yeah, to make those seismic shocks so they could get readings off of the instruments they placed there. And they crashed Apollo 12. They crashed that module into the moon, and something happened that shocked everybody. The moon
was hollow.
Well, it rang like a bell. Normally when you crash something into a planet, you can get some readings off of it, right? You can tell. But when they crashed the landing module into the moon, it kept reverberating for an hour.
What does that mean? Reverberating? Like repeating itself, or?
They could detect that shock wave bouncing around the moon for an hour.
Oh, wow.
Right? Which is crazy. It's like instead of just going and thump and it was over, or boom, whatever. Like
the little bell inside it was like tick, 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 all over the place.
And instead of doing just, that, it went on for an hour. And they started detecting earthquakes and things on the moon. And for some reason, the moon has little earthquakes. Well, I call them little, but they have earthquakes up to a 5.5 on the Richter scale, right? The same way we measure earthquakes. But instead of being regular earthquakes, they last. Here on Earth, the earthquake lasts like a minute or two, right?
Yeah.
At,
Few
at
seconds.
most.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes just like a few seconds, right?
Mm-hmm.
The ones on the moon last over 10 minutes,
Ora.
right?
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. So you take that into consideration, right?
Because it's hollow.
Well, we're getting there. We're building up to saying that it's hollow, right? So they also did a lot of testing on stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
And when they test the rocks, we already know those things about the rocks.
Mm-hmm.
But the rocks, normally you get heavier rocks, heavier things as you go deeper.
Mm-hmm.
And the moon is actually backwards. So the heavier stuff is on the outside, and as you start going in, you start to get lighter things, which is odd, right?
Oh, wow.
If you take a look at the craters on the moon, you know, where asteroids and meteors and everything have hit the moon, if you look at pictures of it, you'll notice that even the really, really, really big craters,
Mm-hmm.
they're like flat at the bottom. They're not like super, super deep. Like, you have that big crater near you, right? In Arizona? So, somewhere right between us. There's that really big, well, it's not huge, but it's a big crater.
But, I mean, yeah. Uh-huh.
And you can see how deep it goes, right, into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you look at a picture of the moon and you look at those craters, even the really big ones, they don't go very deep.
Mm-hmm.
And why is that?
Why?
Well,
because
there's
Earth is
theories.
actually filled with stuff. Like, it has firm stuff in the center, but the moon doesn't really.
The theory is that the moon has some sort of hard surface underneath, like a shell, like a metal shell underneath,
Like where robots
that
shell.
that prevents those impacts from digging in so deep.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They've also done some other measurements on the moon,
Mm-hmm.
so they can tell the mass and all that good stuff. But when you take a look at like the density of the moon, for example, the Earth, if the Earth was made completely of water, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it was just a ball of water,
Mm-hmm.
for the size it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Exact same, but it's made completely of water.
Mm-hmm.
If you take the Earth and you check that against that,
Uh-huh.
the Earth is about 5.5 times heavier than water.
Mm-hmm.
That's because it's made up of rock and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the moon is only about 3.3 or something like that, which means the moon is like super, super light. And why is the moon so light?
Why?
So there's got to be a reason, right? The moon is just, it's too light.
American Monster said it's because it's a giant golf ball. Hi, MOT. Welcome, welcome. Yo también a ti, mi alma. MOT. So why is it
All right.
white?
Well, so we get back to the same thing, right? If the moon was hollow in the inside and someone was working on the moon,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of starts to clear up a few things, right?
Mm-hmm.
First of all that heavy stuff on the outside, all of the titanium and all of the helium-3 and all those things that normally shouldn't be right on the surface, that should be inside of the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if someone was hollowing it out, you wouldn't just like dump it out into space, you just put it on top, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why the moon is inside out, because the moon itself has been hollowed out, and all those things that were in the inside are now on the top of the moon. And that's why it's built backwards than, say...
So I didn't want to
or-
contaminate the outer space, so it kept like all the.
Well, what are you gonna do with all those moon bits, right? You might as well
It
just
kept
throw
it
them right on
attached to
top.
it. Yeah.
So anyway, they kept crashing Apollo missions. I don't think they did 13 for some reason. They passed 13, but they did 14, 15, 16 maybe. I'm not sure exactly when they stopped, but they kept crashing it, and every time they did it, it just like kept ringing over and over, and it kept resonating, and you could keep hearing those for hours. I think they did one. Was it 14 maybe? Apollo 14, and I think it continued to shake for like 4 hours. It's crazy, right?
That is interesting.
So there's a couple other things. Do you know anything about like ancient cultures talking about the moon? Because there's a couple more things I want to bring up
I think
before I'm done.
most of them do, don't they? Like some of them even kind of like praise it and like pray to it and stuff. So yeah, like.
Sorry, I got like the sniffles still. It's pretty annoying. I just muted myself. So I want to talk about like 3 groups real quick.
Okay.
3 groups of like ancient people that talk about the moon.
Mm-hmm.
So there are a group of people who lived in central region of Greece.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of mountains and things right there, right? And Aristotle, a bunch of his contemporaries all wrote about this group of people who lived in this mountainous area, right? And all of them write about the same thing, because these people claimed that they were entitled to this land, that they owned this part of Greece. And the thing they always said was the reason why they had ownership of this land was because their forefathers, their ancestors, all lived there before since before the moon was there. That's what they always say. Which is weird, right? Like the moon should have been here for billions of years, right?
Right.
Hanging around with the Earth. There is a Zulu tribe as well that has their mythology, their myths. They talk a lot about the moon as well. And they have these 2 brothers, Wayland and Hanku, right? And so their myth about the moon, it states that at one time the Earth was covered in a mist all of the time. So it was just misty all the time, everywhere. And this is where it gets a little weird. This is where it gets a little weird.
Okay.
The lizard people. The lizard people. Yes, the lizard people. Wayland and Panku are the leaders of the lizard people. They were part of the group that stole the egg from the fire dragon. And they took the yolk out of the egg, and this egg is what became our moon.
What the heck?
Which, I don't know if you've heard like other ancient myths and things like that, but all the time there's like a dragon, right? And why is it a dragon? Because a dragon is like a rocket, right? It's like a spaceship. It's what like ancient people would like relate to a rocket.
But it doesn't really make how do you get a huge ass moon from like a dragon egg yolk, egg yolk, whatever you call it?
Well, it's because the moon is a dragon egg, right? This is what they. So if a dragon is like a spaceship, right? A rocket. Then the moon is like a smaller rocket, right? It's an egg. It's where the other dragons come from. So this is the way they would explain something like that, right? The rockets are dragons. The dragon's egg is the moon, and for some reason they know that the moon is hollow, and the lizard people are living in the moon.
Oh wow.
So
okay, interesting.
Here's the weird part. Here's the part that starts to tie everything in together with all these other myths. Right? So the moon itself, when the lizard people put it into place around the Earth, it caused all of the mist to fall to the ground.
That's what gave us our water?
And it created a great flood. Which killed a lot of the things on the planet, right? Well, strangely enough, the moon actually helps do all of those things. It helps us have like regular weather. It helps us have like the 4 seasons and everything. The moon's a very integral part of all that, right? But anyway, so what they say is the moon caused this great flood. Well, strangely enough, all of these ancient cultures have a flood myth, right? There's a great flood, almost everyone dies, and then we kind of start over at that point, right? I mean, it's in the Bible, right?
Oh yes.
It's in all of these different mythologies. There's a great flood, right?
And you know why I believe some of that stuff? Because I remember learning that obviously way back then there weren't any like telescopes or anything, and somehow people in like history kind of like knew about planets, and they always talked about basically what we know now, like as our planets, like as our solar system, is practically like what they had talked about before, or like there was drawings, when they had like drawings in the walls and stuff, and it was basically like the exact same solar system that we have now. So there was like absolutely no way for them to have known about stars, planets, all that stuff without like evolution, without everything that we have now, like with all the technology that we have now. So it's like, how do they know? How were they able to like investigate all of that stuff? So it makes it, yes, kind of believable, like, okay, maybe some of their myths are right, especially after you hear like so many different what would you call them?
Ancient cultures you're talking about?
So many cultures or tribes, like, all of them kind of talking about the same thing, where everything just kind of relates to each other,
right? So the Mesopotamia, Sumeria, they have almost the exact same myth going on. They have these two brothers. They're not named the same, but they have these two brothers, and they have kind of the same story going on, and it ends with the Great Flood, right? There's a great flood that happens, and it kind of all ties in. Do you know who the Anunnaki are?
No.
Oh, that's like a whole nother episode. We could talk about Anunnaki for like 2 or 3 hours.
We can have us like a special technical episode where we just like talk about facts and all this, like fascinating facts about stuff like that.
No, the Anunnaki also deal with aliens, right? It's a whole thing. Anyway, there's one more thing. There's one more culture. There's a group in Bolivia, Tianaka in Bolivia, right? And there's a calendar there, and the calendar goes back way back into the past, right? And the calendar actually shows that somewhere the calendar actually starts before there was a moon.
Oh wow.
And the calendar actually shows that the moon showed up about 12,000 years ago. That's when the moon arrived. About 12,000 BC or whatever, I guess.
Holy shiznits.
Right?
Well, it kind of makes sense because if you think about it too, in the Bible they talk about how they guided themselves with the stars and everything too, so you would figure.
So in total, the theory goes, so the moon can't be natural, just because it's too awkward and it has too many weird things around it, right? There's no way that we could have got it. Secondly, there's all of these ancient myths about what happened with the moon, right? That when it appeared, and we actually have like some calendar from this group in Bolivia. They're like, hey, look, this is actually when it showed up. And all of those things tie into all those myths that have been floating around. And they tie into the Anunnaki, the Great Flood. They tie into, I don't know if you've ever heard of the Elder Dryas, that time.
Hi, Echo. Welcome.
But that's something else that we could talk about too, like ancient aliens, right? And all of these groups that talk about the Sumerians, the Zulu tribes, the Mesopotamians, they all talk about the moon showing up, and I kind of would love to believe that the lizard people are the ones who brought it.
I wonder if Adam and Eve ever saw the moon. If they ever kissed under the moonlight.
I don't. So yeah, the moon would have already been here by then,
right? Yeah.
Or would it?
I mean,
I don't know.
Basically the world already existed, because otherwise, how did he just put him on?
Yeah, but the world existed, but
right,
but it was before the flood, right? So then no. I wonder if there's any mention in the Bible.
But the moon had already existed,
of them looking at the moon.
I don't know.
That would be interesting.
Anybody that's religious here, let us know if I'm pretty sure the Bible talks about the moon.
Well, I know, but does it talk about it with Adam and Eve? That would be the interesting thing. Do they talk about it? Do they talk about it before Noah? I guess is the question.
Oh, you beat me to it. Interesting.
Right? Because if they don't talk about it before Noah, but they talk about it after Noah, that's like more evidence, right?
Yeah, I guess. If you believe in the Bible.
Well, if you believe in aliens. So now we have a moon that's hollow. That's full of lizard people. And the moon is in the exact right place so that they have access to the moon from a side that none of us can ever see. So they can get to the moon without anyone ever seeing them get there.
Interesting.
Because of the dark side of the moon, right?
Right. Plus, I'm pretty sure their speed is like so fast you can't even see it. People would probably think it's like a shooting star or something. Right?
McLeod had a dream about the Great Flood.
Yeah, just with the bed. That's usually what happens. Interesting.
So yeah, so that's my alien story. This is my proof that aliens are here. The moon itself is my proof. Do you believe, Chona? Do you believe the aliens are in the moon?
So you believe that the lizard people are the aliens? That's what you believe?
Well, I'd like to believe it's the lizard people because the lizard people are very hardworking, I believe. But it could be the Greys.
The Greens.
You know, like the Greys, the little dudes with the really big eyes.
The Greens.
The Greys.
With the little eyes.
But
okay. So I think they do exist. because there's a lot of there's been a lot of things, a lot of people where they talk about the last thing I remember is seeing like a really bright light, blah blah blah, and then I don't remember anything anymore. Next thing you know, it's like next morning or however many days or weeks later, and then like I don't remember anything that happened throughout that time.
Yes, abduction.
Yeah, the abductions, and then there's people saying, okay, like we saw when it happened, we saw the lights, blah blah blah, all that stuff. There's a lot of videos of like aircrafts and stuff when like something just, I don't know, we're like foom foom foom, like just buzzes by like super super quick, super fast, and that's like almost, you can literally like almost like not even see it, and it's like ridiculous speeds that like nothing that we have, not even like military, nothing has that type of speed. That I was kind of reading through an article because I know there's a lot of like events here in Arizona, but for some reason, I don't know why, for some reason I feel like now when you search things, like some things you can't find all the information that there used to be before. Like they kind of like cover it up or something, like they only let you see now like whatever they want you to see. But you can't find everything. So I wanted to like search because I know there was a lot of things, a lot of events. I have a link that was like the only thing that I was able to find, where it talks about us having events here in Arizona at the Grand Canyon for like at least 100 years already. And then there's another one too, something about Sedona, because there's like a lot of vortex areas in like Sedona.
Okay.
That's what's like up north. Well, they're both up north for here in Arizona. And they talk about like there's a lot of events, and they say that like in Sedona there's like a bunch of like daily events. It's like it's a very usual thing. And they think that it's maybe because of like all the vortex, like the vortexes, however you call it, that there are there's out there in Sedona. So like I don't know. I thought that was pretty interesting. So
we have to say goodbye to Dion real quick. He's leaving, and McLovin. if I disappear, you know why? Because I know too much.
That we are the, yes, exactly. Who's leaving? Have a great night, Dion. Thank you so much. Have a great one. Thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate it. Papa, what I don't know if you would be down to this, because I feel like it seems like now there's like a bunch of stuff that we could talk about, because there's like a bunch of stuff that kind of correlates to it. How about here and there we can do like or like maybe once a month, like a special Sunday event podcast where it's all just completely like designated to this type of things. I feel like it, like this fascinates you too.
Alien Sunday.
Yes.
We're gonna do Alien Sunday.
Yeah. Would you guys like that?
Supernatural Sunday.
Yes. You can what do you call it? You can
Oh, Pogs is here. Pog.
You can educate us.
Pog, I have a question. Poggy, I have a question. Are you listening? Poggy. Pog. I need to ask Pog a question because he's very religious, right?
You reported who, McLovin? I hope not me. I'm just kidding.
So Pog, I need to know if there's any mention in the Bible of the moon before Noah. And then if there's any mention of the moon after Noah.
And if Adam and Eve had a romantic picnic under the moonlight.
That's just Shirley's question, but I just want to know if there's a mention of the moon.
He said yes,
before
sir.
Noah. No, he's saying yes because I told him I need to ask a question. It's that delay thing, right? So that's your job, Pog. You have to research that. Anyway, I'm sorry. So you were on about you were talking about vortexes, and you were agreeing with Bringer that it was naive to think that we're the only intelligent life out there.
Yes, and then I have another link here. I mean, this is just for people that are like technical and they enjoy all these kinds of things. It talks about, I forgot which university, one of the universities out here in Arizona, and that's a little old. That's what I'm saying. I couldn't find a lot of the things that like you used to be able to find before. But in this link it talks about how how it happens basically so much here in Arizona that like the Travel Channel made a show, an episode about it, like the events here in Arizona. Oh, I mixed up my links. I'm sorry. It's the first one. It's I don't remember if it's the University of Arizona. Yeah, it's the University of Arizona that's leading a NASA astrobiology project. So basically they got like 12 million bucks, and they made 2 different groups for them to like investigate all this stuff. I mean, this is really old though. It's from 2020, so I'm assuming they either already started or they're probably, I don't know if they're still like in the works or in the process of it. But I thought it was pretty interesting how it's always interesting because people believe, obviously, right? People believe in a lot of things. That's what believe and hope is, basically like things that you can't actually feel or touch, but you actually like believe in them. So it's pretty interesting. It makes it more interesting when you can have like the facts about it too, like all the scientific like evidence and stuff that actually makes it like physical, that like, okay, like we saw it did actually happen, and there's like evidence that okay, it did happen. So it's kind of like, I don't know, to me that's a little interesting. It's a little fascinating how something that you believed in or you just kind of felt, or like a vibe or something, and then you can boom, okay, physically see, okay, it did, like it does exist. Like I'm not just crazy how some people might think, like it actually like did happen. So that would be something interesting to look into, like to see if they actually did get started with the projects and like what have they advanced with and stuff.
What kind of results they've had so far?
Yes, and then like there's a bunch of like military stuff too, where they like cover up all of these things. I had read before about something that happened in like Nevada, and you know how they obviously try to like cover it up, blah 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 blah, kind of like the lost ship, remember that we talked about, and then we're like, now there's like a military base there.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know, there's just a bunch of like interesting things, like fascinating things that we could talk about. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I was saying, if it interests people enough, maybe we can do it into like a special event type of thing, like here and there on like Sundays, like a special episode or something.
Like once a season?
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Oh, Scooby-Doo Papa. Welcome, Mr. Ramana. Welcome, Ramana.
I was waiting for you to read that. I didn't want to say anything.
Scooby-Doo Papa. Y el pum 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 pum.
I'm also chatting with McLovin in the chat, which is hilarious.
Okay.
McLovin cracks me up. Ooh. Oh, you put a poll up. I didn't even know you put a poll up.
Yeah, it ended already.
I didn't even get to vote.
It's okay because I don't get to vote. Ha 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 ha.
But I always vote.
Supernatural.
Even when I tell you I'm not voting.
Sunday special.
Hello, Ramana. Good to see you. That's crazy. But yeah, I would be so down for something.
Bum 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 bum. I'm loving it.
Alien.
Guys, we are
think
still
of a good name.
We are still $2,990 away from getting our new equipment. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, I'm sorry, $2,980 because we got $20 donated last week. So just putting it out there, so you guys can actually see everybody on the call and not just me.
It'll happen, Joe.
Or if anybody wants to donate us a cheapy laptop for now, no, I'm just kidding.
We should just rent out time on Fletcher's computer because it's so powerful. I think India used it to send their rocket up to the moon recently.
Uh-oh.
So Pog said bye, but he never answered my question.
Get those donuts going, y'all. Yes, please. We actually want to grow the channel a little. No, we want to bring you guys better quality stuff. Plus, it would be more interesting for them to be able to see all of us and like all of our expressions too, like not just like me. Yeah.
like Abduction Sunday or something. I
I'm
don't
pretty
know.
positive
Well,
they would like to see Mr. I forgot his name again. Kaki, Taki. What's his name? Flocky. What's your bird's name? Kiki, Kiki,
KK.
Kiki, Kiki. Oh, KK.
KK, yes.
KK, KK. Have a great one, Mr.
What?
Pogs. Thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate it. I did H scroll. You know what? Let's search it right now. Let's ask Google.
Sound the ram's horn at the first moon, Harlock. If it's a full moon, you ask for. So was that before the flood or after? That's my question. Would that have been in Adam and Eve time, or would that be after the flood? Because I would think that would be after the flood.
Ay,
right?
ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay.
Oh no, Fog's not leaving.
Oh, he's not. I thought he was leaving.
No, he said goodbye to MOT. I guess MOT is leaving. I don't know. Oh yeah, MOT is leaving. He's watching wrestling. So disappointed in you, MOT. So disappointed. So disappointed. But yeah, we definitely should do something on Sundays. It seems like 80% of the people believe in aliens, so we could do something. We'll have to figure out where to start from, because aliens is such a huge subject.
How do you call
It's almost
How do you call this? Psalm? Is it Psalm? Like Psalm?
yes.
Yeah, okay. So here it says on Psalm 8.3. I forgot how do you call it. It's like I don't know how you say it in English. It's like chapter 4, section 3, verse 4, something like that. Okay,
Yes.
well, they talk about the moon on there. Because it says when I
They
look
talk about
the moon. It says when I look at your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars, which you have
Okay.
set in place. What is see? So yes.
but is that before the flood?
I don't know. Let's see. Here's another one. So they talk about the moon and the sun, but I don't know. Let me see. Bible. Moon before the flood.
Alien approval poll. That's what Ron says. Yes, it's an alien approval poll. That's funny. Anyway, we won't get into like.
It was
this
before.
whole-
We'll just
we
leave it
don't
at there.
have to do
We'll leave it at that.
all of the research.
Yes, we'll leave it at that. So I did a poll on it.
It's not well-
There's a poll, but you can't vote. That's not fair because I can't vote. No, I'm just kidding. But I did do a poll asking them if they would like. Come on. I don't know why it does this. It doesn't like let me. It's would you like a Supernatural Sunday special? 83% yes so far. Come on, peoples, come on.
Pog says they didn't have hair dryers back then. So I don't know. Aliens is such a huge subject. It's almost like foodie, right?
Yeah,
There could be no end to it.
because we
So
can we can talk just about like personal experiences, or like people like whatever experiences. We can talk about it like on the scientific side of it, like with facts and stuff, and then we can also talk about I guess you can kind of call it not the religious side, but the cultural side of it. I don't know, because how we've been talking about like cultures in the past, how they talked about all that, like the gods, different tribes and all that, like a long time. So
Well,
there's like different aspects of it that we can cover.
there's just so much to cover. Like you were saying, there's like the ancient alien side, and all the things that kind of are weird about historical records that show up. There are current abductions and current things that are happening. Oh, do you watch that show Skinwalker Ranch?
No.
Oh, you should watch that. You should watch at least some of it. I think some of it's free. Maybe the first season is right now.
I watched I'm watching Invasion right now. Invasion, it's on Apple TV. And then I watched I forgot what it's called, but it's another series that basically it's about like what if the US hadn't been the first one to make it to the moon, like how things would have been if it was, I forgot what country. So it's pretty interesting. They're very, very interesting because they talk about, the second one is more like, okay, just like the moon and stuff, but Invasion is actually like about like aliens. So I don't know, it's pretty interesting.
But is it a fictional TV show?
It's a fiction. It's a fiction, but there's a lot of other shows that actually like talk about that. I'm pretty sure like Discovery Channel has a lot of things, and then like the Travel Channel has different episodes from like different places or like different areas that they go and investigate. So, Chana, tell us about the party nights out you had with the aliens. I've never partied with an alien. That would be very interesting, though. Hola, los dioses, bienvenido.
Probing fog. Anytime you get abducted, there's probing fog.
There's what?
Probing. Probes.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what a probe is?
No.
Okay, Google.
As an alien, I approve this. Ramana. Oh, that is true, huh? Ramana's an alien. But yes. So Skinwalker Ranch, really briefly, there's a ranch that has a lot of weird things happen on it, and the Indians that lived on the ranch attributed the weird happenings to skinwalkers. You've heard of skinwalkers, right? Yeah, I saw them on Game of Thrones.
So the Indians attributed everything to that, right?
Hi, and Mr. Chief. Welcome.
Over the years, what has happened is, or more recently, this guy bought the ranch, Skinwalker Ranch, and he decided to try to figure out what's going on there, and so he's brought all these scientists in, and all these weird things happen on Skinwalker Ranch, like really crazy stuff, and they're documenting it as they're going along. And
so
it's not.
This is based on real life.
Yeah, this is a real show.
Oh, okay. Okay, interesting.
And there have been lots of UFO sightings. There's been a lot of animal mutilations on the ranch. You know, you show up and like something weird just happened to a cow or whatever, you know?
Oh, yes. I've heard that stuff too. Yes. I've heard of that type of stuff too. Yes. That's interesting.
Right? But that show you might find interesting, and it has a lot to do with
who streams it?
History, maybe.
History Channel, interesting. A real show about fake stuff.
But like I said, I think they're like maybe on season 4 or something by now. So I think the first season you can watch for free.
Oh, okay, interesting.
A real show about fake stuff. No, McLovin, aliens are real. They're real. I want to believe, McLovin. I want to believe there's aliens out there.
Maybe they're the real humans and we're the aliens. Ooh.
Oh, and then like stuff like crop circles and Area 51, the Men in Black. There's all that stuff, right?
All those like perfectly made shapes and stuff on like the cornfields and all that stuff for like open areas, and you're like, how it's like so symmetric, like it couldn't have been made by something like human hand. Like there's no way. Yeah.
But there's all kinds of stuff to talk about. I definitely think we should do some sort of alien show like once a season.
Yeah. Anybody wants to vote? Anybody want to vote? Anybody else want to vote? Anybody else want to vote? Chief said he needs a 411. We're talking about my cousin aliens. Cause I'm out of this world.
Chief might be an alien with those giant ears. That's a very alien trait.
I'm brushing up on my British history. What's Braveheart right now? He's watching Todd the Batman.
Stop, McLovin, stop.
The Todd that bit you too.
Oh, that was weird. I just lost audio.
Uh-oh. We can still hear you though.
No, it came back, but it was weird. It just like cut out for all of a sudden. McLovin says he's brushing up on British history by watching Braveheart. Stop, McLovin. Anyway, we kept cutting you off. So you were, where were we? I don't remember where we were.
No, we were done.
You put up a couple of links and you talked about Arizona. Did you have more to talk about on that?
No, that was it. I shared the links, what they're about and stuff, and then we talked about everything else. And then tis but a scratch. And then we talked about we're gonna set something up so we can have more alien episodes. We're gonna have special supernatural Sunday episodes.
Okay. So we will. I will definitely plug one into next season. An alien episode somewhere along the way.
Nice.
We'll figure out the topic later because there's just so much.
The people that say no on the polls about like certain episodes, what would you guys like to see then? That 10% that doesn't want to see the episodes from the polls we put up. What do you guys want to see? What do you guys want us to talk about? What about you sing a song? I don't know how to sing. All I know is Mary had a little something. This land was made for you and me.
That's got to be only like one.
Oh, from California to the New York Islands. Na 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 na. Something. This land was made for you and me.
Something. Copyright strike. Something.
Yeah, copyright. Something. Okay, that's it, y'all. Spade and neuter your kids.
Pog says no now. Pog says no to the singing special.
Okay, forget that. I don't know any songs. I only know Spanish songs. Oh, wait, how come you didn't sing this time? Or did that person didn't come? You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. Something. Oh, he's not here. Okay, never mind. Alright, guys. Buddy, that's all for tonight, folks.
So
that is a real song. Those are real songs.
That's hilarious. So we have Halloween coming up.
Oh my goodness, yes. They haven't told us what they want us to dress up as.
We have Halloween coming up this Friday, right? For us, for the show.
Oh yes. Okay, I was like, oh my gosh, already? Oh, but literally, yes. Oh my bejeebers. Oh my gosh, that's true.
So
yes.
I guess what we're going to do is try to get the camera working again, and if we can get the camera working, then you will see everyone live in costume. If not, then you will see Chona live in costume.
Wait, it's this coming up Friday? This coming Friday?
Yes, right? Because this Friday was
son
like the
of a
20.
crap.
It's the 27th, or 27th this Friday.
Yes,
So
we have to figure
Halloween
something out. Yes, 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 yes. Chucky. I don't know the Chucky song. But yes, guys, okay. So yeah, Friday. They never told us what they wanted us to dress up as, so yeah.
I thought we were doing the Catherine,
Who's Catherine?
the thing from the.
No, that's the following week. That's for Dia de
I thought that
Muertos.
was for this week. Oh.
No, Dia de Muertos is for Friday the 3rd, but we're doing it Saturday the 4th. That's in 2 weeks.
Oh. Okay.
So
Pennywise.
go get a
Oh, Chucky
costume.
is who he wants you to dress up as.
Me? You want me to be Chucky? I could be Tiffany.
You could be Bride of Chucky.
Tiffany, and I'll get like a little mold wherever she has it. All right, they want her, they want Ruin to be Pennywise.
Yeah. A clown. You want me to be a clown? I'm clownish enough as it is.
He'll be a
You don't need me
pirated
more
Pennywise.
clown. No. Well, it's not everybody that's asking for it. It's just Pog.
It does basically everybody because no one has asked except for him.
It doesn't count if it's just Pog. Anyway, we will see. We will see what people vote for and see what see if we can get those cameras working this week.
Yes.
Cross your fingers.
Fingers crossed. Crossed fingers. Fingers crossed. Crossed fingers.
All right. Well, that I think covers everything.
Yes. Thank you guys for being here. We really appreciate it, especially being a Sunday night. And without a notice, haha. But thank you guys. We really appreciate you guys. Thank you for all of the support, and hopefully we can continue to grow the channel and we can keep bringing other videos and other cool stuff. Actually, I still have a video that needs to come up from when we went to California, so it'll come up pretty soon. We'll see you guys next week for Halloweeny. All yours, Mr. Boone.
I was just checking on something because traditionally at this point I would trigger I would say goodbye to people and trigger some music.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just realized that I can't trigger the music.
It's okay.
So I'm trying to figure out.
I triggered my own.
You have your own. That was awkward. What was that?
Our goodbye music.